some of you may have noticed that there hasn't been any content gone up on my channel in nearly a month now, and I'm just going to make this short video to try and explain a little bit why. So if you saw the not the last video I put up but the one before, I explained I was going to use Christmas time to make a few more videos and upload a lot more content and some more stuff as well, and do some sort of maybe sideways stuff on the channel that wasn't really to do with anything that I'd done before. Now, that plan did go ahead. The trouble is after recording what must be nearly, somewhere conservatively, 8 to 10 hours worth of stuff, what basically happened was I'd recorded everything, I'd edited it, and I had it in a position where it was ready to be sort of churned out and uploaded, so that basically I didn't have to record anything for the next week or 2 weeks. So the first video that went up was the which one was it? It was the Amiga 1200 CD32 video, and that went up absolutely fine. The next one to go up the next day was the Atari Jaguar video. Now, what happened was, basically, as that video was uploading, my computer crashed. Didn't even finish uploading the video to YouTube, and so I had to delete the video that did end up there because it went up as sort of unfinished, not very good. And so then when I went to restart the computer, it wouldn't start. So after tracking down the problem, I realised it was the hard drive, one of the hard drives that was in my machine. Unfortunately, it was one of the hard drives. It was the hard drive that had everything stored on it. So basically all the stuff I recorded. Now, I have a backup drive where I put all the stuff once it's been uploaded, so most of that is safe. But I'd lost all my templates, all the stuff I was doing, all my clip art that I used for various bits and pieces. That's all gone, and I've had to redo all that, basically. So what basically happened is my hard drive crashed. It was a 1 gig Samsung drive. So I thought, well, naively, I thought it was like the trick you could do with the old IDE drives, because what happened was, when I finally tracked down what was wrong and opened up the case, I could hear the drive clicking as if the head wouldn't find the track. And what you could do with the old IDE drives is that if you had a drive that was the same make and model number, what you could do, basically the way the hard drives work is they've got chips that control the spindle motor and chips that control the what's the arm called? The head arm. I can't remember the name for it. We'll call it the head arm. And usually it's one of them that had gone wrong. So what you could do, if you had a drive that was the same type and make, you could actually just swap the controller boards and it would work perfectly fine. Naively, I thought you could do this with modern drives. So I ordered a drive off eBay, one that was in perfect working order, and I tested it when it arrived. It was in perfect working order. Swapped the board with the drive I had that had crashed. Nothing doing. Didn't change a bloody thing. I even put the board from the drive that I had onto the drive that I'd just purchased, and that one worked perfectly fine. So obviously it's not a fault with the board, it's a fault with the drive. So I took the case off to have a look. Although there's nothing I can do, it's worthwhile checking, and there's a big gouge around the platter. So that what's basically happened is that one of the heads, for some reason or another, has crashed into the platter and absolutely wrecked the drive. So everything I had on that drive is basically gone and irrecoverable. There's no easy way to recover that data, so it's all gone. So that's disappointing because, like I say, I did have quite a lot of content all ready to go. So this video is basically explaining why content hasn't gone up and what's going to happen now. So I've obviously lost all the YouTube stuff, but the other things that were on that drive that I've also lost is I've lost all my games lists. So I'm going to have to I'm going to basically have to re-inventory my entire game collection, because I can't keep track in my head of what's I've got quite a lot of stuff, and I can't keep track of what's there and what isn't week to week when I'm out looking for stuff, because I do forget. So I'm going to have to redo all that because all my lists are on there. The other thing that I did, I just finished a few months ago compiling a list of every single PlayStation 3 game with its Sony item codes as well, so that I would know which variant of whichever game I had. So I'm going to have to redo that entire list, and it took me weeks to do. So that's another thing that I'm annoyed that I've lost. What else did I lose? All my emulators. I had an entire Hyperspin setup of emulators on that drive. Well, nearly an entire. I didn't have many games for some of the later stuff like PS2 and things like that because it was only a 1 terabyte drive. But I had enough, and I had an entire Hyperspin setup up there, which has gone with pinball tables as well, which has all gone. And obviously that's slightly, especially the pinball tables one, that's slightly more irritating because you can't, it's difficult getting torrents and things like that with all of them on. So I had to go to, I forget the name of the site, and register with the site and download all the maps and all the table ROMs one by one. So I'm going to have to do that all over again at some point in the future. But basically I've lost quite a lot of stuff, and it's set me back a few weeks. So that's why I'm making this video now, just so you know I haven't gone, and I will be still producing stuff, but it's set me back quite a few weeks. And also I've been suffering with a cold as well, which you can probably still hear the remnants of. And that's why I haven't recorded anything. I haven't actually done any more recordings, basically because my voice is a bit shagged out at the moment, to be fair. And it's not been the sort of cold that sends you to bed for 2 days and then you're fine. It's been one of these long, lingering, horrible, one of these ones that's not so bad that it actually gives you any time off, but you can't speak properly, smell things, all that sort of thing for nearly, over a week now. So that's been irritating me as well. But I'm trying to look on the positives of it, and one of the positives is because I've got to re-inventory my game collection, I might finally get round to actually doing a video about what I've got at the moment, because I know I've done pickups videos and things like that, but I had quite a lot of stuff to start off with that obviously hasn't been in the pickups videos. So it might give me a chance to sort of show off the PS2 stuff and whatever else. Yeah, so that's basically about it. This is just a short video to explain what's been going on and why stuff hasn't turned up on YouTube. So a lot of the stuff is obviously going to have to be re-recorded. Hopefully it's just as good as what I had already, maybe even better. And I can't think of anything else that I want to put in at the moment. I haven't got my book with me here, so I can't. I would love to give you a rundown of what I've actually should be coming out with in the next couple of weeks, but I'm not. So what I'm basically going to do is probably nothing's going to go. I had intended this week to do a massive pickups video, and I promise you that is still coming, but it might be next week now, so that'll be the 20-something, probably Wednesday, Thursday next week after this goes up. So that'll be the 22nd, 23rd. That's when I hope to be able to record that, and hopefully that'll then be up on the Thursday or the Friday. So that's about it, and hopefully, again, my voice should be a lot better by then. It'll be back to its much higher pitched, much more irritating tone that it usually is, rather than this croaky mess you can hear at the moment. Hopefully Audacity can get rid of some of that croakiness. Maybe I'll find a clever filter to filter it out or something. But yeah, so basically because of the hard drive crash, and I know, you know, please don't put in the comments about backing up. I'm very well aware of backing things up, and normally when I've finished with things, I do. And to be honest, most of the games lists and things like that, I assumed were already being backed up to, because I've got a Dropbox account as well, and stuff is supposed to be automatically backed up to their sort of documents and things like that. So, I mean, luckily I haven't lost any personal documents because they were backed up. But then I realised something had gone wrong, and for some reason my stuff, my games list stuff, hadn't actually been backed up for about 5 months. So, you know, I have to sort that out and sort of basically re-inventory stuff, because it's not. I don't know what I've added recently, and I suppose I could go and look at the videos, but there's quite often the odd bit and something that's been missed out. So I think it's probably a good idea for me to just re-inventory everything. So that might end up being a couple of videos worth of content if that seems interesting, or if I think I've got a collection worth showing off a few bits. So that's it, and like I say, this is becoming a bit more of a ramble because I haven't got any notes in front of me. This is just literally off the cuff, and it's probably going to be edited as is. So yeah, do please continue watching. There's no need to like or subscribe on the basis of this video. The only good reason to subscribe on the basis of this is that you like what might be coming in the future. There's no reason to like this video or interact with it in any way, really, because this is just information that I'm putting out there. There's no real need for feedback, unfortunately, because thanks to the way YouTube now works, feedback is actually helpful to me, but there's no need for it on this one. So yeah, that's basically just what I wanted to do, was explain what had been going on. So hopefully I will see the next video. I'm going to redo the Generation 4 Generation 5 videos, and get all of them up. I think that's going to be the next thing. After a pickups video. I mean, pickups videos are very easy. I can do them all in one hit, and they don't require a lot of editing. The generational videos do require a bit more editing, so they'll probably go up. The next 4 of them probably will go up in quick succession after that. Because what I'll probably do is record them all in one hit over the space of, say, 3-4 hours, and then get them edited and get them up so that I've, you know, stuff starts going back up on the channel. So if you like the idea of that, then do subscribe and stay tuned. And yeah, hopefully the pickups video is probably going to be quite a big one, though. It may even be 2 videos, because not only is there quite a lot of stuff to get through, but there's a lot of new anecdotal things that go along with them, little stories and things like that, which might be interesting or might not, but certainly I think at least 1 or 2 of them are quite funny, and or maybe even just typical these days. But yeah, so stay tuned for that content, and that's it. That's just what I wanted to get out there, was why content hasn't gone up, in case anyone's wondering. I haven't given up doing YouTube stuff. It just it's just been set back a few weeks, you know, a month or so. So that's about it, and I will see you. Probably the next video will be the pickups one, and then after that the Generation 5 console stuff. So I'll see you then, and thanks for keep supporting what I'm trying to do, even though I'm not actually uploading anything. I have seen the amount of people that have watched the Amiga 1200 video, and I'm quite pleased with that number. So keep it up, please, YouTube people. See you next time.